Hi there, welcome back to Kila Kitu Bima. If you're new here, my name is Ellie Umaya and thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, I always thank you so much for your support. Today I'm going to talk about my journey at UConn, and if you haven't watched my video on my journey into insurance, I would recommend you watch that first before watching this so that you can get a background of what I'm talking about. So my journey at UConn, it started of course with the application and everything and being accepted, and I was sent a packet of documents which included reading material for my first class together with the orientation material and also a phone line that I would use when I get into the United States. I missed my first day of orientation, which was on the 16th of January, and that's the same date I was traveling. I would recommend, if you have the time and if you're able to, make sure you attend the orientation from the first day. Although there's not much that you would miss, you could still get maybe video recordings if your university does that, or you could get someone to orient you on your own. I traveled on the 16th. I was reading the class material on the plane, and it was just, I was thinking like, wow, what is this? What is all this? Because not throwing shade to Kenyan universities, but sometimes the first week nothing much really goes on. But here I am, I'm being told, okay, yeah, you have to read this, you have to get to know what you need during the orientation period and also for your first class. So I get to my port of entry into the US was New York, and I get there and the first thing that hits me is the cold, because it was January. It was so cold. I'd never experienced such kind of weather before. So I get there and my sister was there at least to receive me, thank God. I had family here. From New York to UConn is about a 2-hour drive. I have to prepare, get to orientation, and that was when we were having the first class. And can you imagine, you're being asked, so there's this thing they call cold calling. You're asked questions regardless of whether you volunteered or not. You can be asked questions with regards to the material that you were given. I went through the class. It was interesting, and I'm like, wow, from day one to hit the ground running, no jokes. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this and all. So school goes on, the cold is there, you're battling with weather, you're being in a foreign country, just learning the system. Things are just, straight, and you're like, wow, this is something I've never experienced. And the reading material, I think maybe, I don't know if this is just for the law school, but there was just so much to read. For each of the subjects that you take, you find that you have to read. There are always, every time you go to class, questions will be asked. They could be cold calling, so you have to be prepared. You just have to be on your toes all the time. You have to ensure that you know what the concept, you grasp the concept well so that you're able to explain when you're asked a question. I'm glad I was able to adapt well, and from day one you hit the ground running. There are no jokes, no nothing. You just have to read. And I think during that period, coffee was my best friend, because you have classes early in the morning, you have to read till maybe late in the night, you have to prepare for your exams, mid-exams. I did decide to take to do a thesis during my study. There's the option of just doing the coursework and doing a short paper, or doing your long paper, which is the thesis, and also doing the coursework. So I opted to do a thesis. There was this class that I really loved, and that was alternative risk management. I loved the class, I loved the professor, and I was like, this is a place or an area that I would like to do my long paper in, and also just work together with that professor. Those were the most longest days. I was just wishing, why did I do this? I'm thinking to myself, why did I do this? But do you know what? My long paper was a study on an insurance company that went insolvent, and during that period when I was going through the material, reading, just being guided, and the professor would guide me and tell me, oh, look at this material, doing my research, I came to just learn a lot about the insurance system, how it works, how companies run, what makes companies insolvent. It was just a good to have that knowledge, and which helped me in turn, I guess, when I got into the industry. I would say people say you're baptized by fire. I was baptized by snow here, because the cold, the system, everything was just new, but it turned out well. UConn was quite interesting amidst all this getting into class, having your classwork to do, and also I tried to do some extracurricular activities just to boost my resume, and also just to interact with the people here, just to get to know how things are run, how schools work here. So during my time at UConn, I was the president of Connecticut Alliance International Lawyers, which is a student-led organization. And during this time, I got to do extracurricular activities, plan events for the organization, liaise with different administrative offices of the school, and sometimes even out of the school, just to plan events. And this was really a nice experience. It was also a networking opportunity, because I would get to meet people in and out of the school who are influential. UConn was really a place where I would say the professors, the support staff, everyone was really helpful. You would need something and they would be at your beck and call, be it in academics, be it socially. They were just there to help you. So I remember just during my last period or last semester before I graduated, I was asked, since you're president of Connecticut Alliance of International Lawyers, and also just your time, having spent some time at UConn as an insurance law student, I was asked to give advice to incoming students, and I'll put a short clip of a video here of where I was, offering some advice on my experience and what I would really let them know in terms of just getting into the system and getting comfortable. Talking about being baptized by snow, so I remember during our first time, or rather the first few weeks, we were taken for ice skating. This is something I'd never done. First of all, it was really cold. I would recommend check on attire that you are required to put on, because the gloves I was putting on, the socks I was putting on, I was still feeling cold. I don't know if it's because I wasn't used to it, but it was just cold. I was wearing some kind of leggings inside and still jeans, but it was still very cold. So just ensure, if you're coming to these countries where you have snow, just get the right gear, get the right attire. I was just walking on the edge of the skating rink because I did not want to risk falling and injuring myself, having never skated. And so you can see me and my roommate, we were just on the side. Of course, we tried to walk away from the rink, but we didn't do much because it was really scary and there was no one there to train. It was just for fun, and I mean, that is something that I would love to know how to do sometime, but during that time I'd never done it and it was really scary. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions about any further questions that I may not have touched on about my journey at UConn. And I'll be doing another next video on how I got into InsurTech, which I'm currently doing now. So thank you for watching up to this far, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Bye.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Umaya. I am class of 2021 in the Insurance LLM program. As a former officer of a student-led organization, Connecticut Alliance of International Lawyers, abbreviated as CALE, I would like to share with you a few tips that you may find useful as you begin your program. So tip number 1 is hit the ground running from day 1. Literally, avoid procrastination at all costs. This will help you if there's material or concept that you don't understand, then during class time, that will be the right opportunity for you to ask the professor questions. Number 2, take down notes during class. This will help you when revising and also preparing your outline. It saves on time. Number 3, I encourage you to participate in class. This shows the professor that you're keenly following through the material. Number 4 is I would encourage you to join student activities and also student extracurricular activities. So this boosts your resume. Last, remember to recharge and rest. You don't want to have a breakdown in the middle of the semester. I wish you the best and all the success. Thank you.